So what is up, guys? Welcome back to an episode of Am I Meta Remastered Dino Black, donated by Mr. Jesse Thomas. So without further ado, let's go over Dino Black again in this week's breakdown. So way back in the day, Dino Black was very interesting at first glance when we first saw him. He had interesting tech, he had a whirlwind, he had a fireball, but it was a little missing something, a little oomph when it came to using Super Dino mode. And a year later, we actually, during my time when I was actually with them, where they actually fixed it to where his wind strike actually was an insta hit in Super Dino mode, so people couldn't block it so easy. So the fact that they were able to fix that kind of made Dino Black more playable as a legendary at the end of the day. A lot of things you can do with him and keep up with the combos with his primaries and so on and so forth. Dino Black has always been one of those characters I like to call Exodia. Because when he goes in Super Dino mode, his damage goes ballistic. Like, his damage output is actually really good once you do all his Super Dino mode techniques. So I'm going like full idiot there, trying to hit him. So we get Scorpina out, and then I use the Hurricane. We pop him up. There's some giant Hurricane damage in there. As you can see, the damage is electric. It is nasty. The only thing about that Jurassic Strike is it doesn't really cause any stun or stagger, so your opponent can just block it easy if you were going for the full idiot. So I was more worried about him doing that because he had a lot of shield assist that I was trying to avoid that. So RJ's prepping his special. He hasn't got it yet. He goes for the big gun, but didn't realize my energy orb does 7,000 complete damage, so that's an automatic GG. But that was always the one thing about Dino Black. He always had like a nice crit tree as well. He's supposed to increase his crit chances, which is why his moveset was a little bit low, because of course the whole point of Dino Thunder Black Ranger was to be a crit fest kind of character. But I mean, once you hit a crit, it's always nice to pull off. You can do certain things. So we're looking out for that breaker. Lo and behold, we were able to smack him with the Dino Red. Sadly, I have no primary. So we're going for the nice poke damage, and then we're going for Scorpina. Pretty much assist spam because Scorpina has nothing but breakers, and I have no response to any of the breakers. Now there, I did want to waste my shield in my primaries because now I need my primaries back. This is ridiculous. If I don't get primaries back, how can I strike out the breaker? So we go for a little bit of Scorpina attack. Then we punch him. And then we go for a Hurricane. And just say GG's from there. And that's why I always said Dino Black was always like Exodia. I mean, once he gets to level 7, he has all of his moves at 13. He hits like a freaking dump truck. A very dumb truck. In Super Dino mode, Energy Orb does, I think, like over 10,000 damage. And it's a little bit easier to pull off. But that's not really saying much when Lambo can actually do the exact same damage Dino Black can do at level 7. Which is kind of terrible, actually, when you think about that. A character that doesn't have to be in a super mode does the biggest damage output, just like Dino Black, on a level 7 day. So, find that awkward, but it is what it is. Get a nice block in. We block the Tommy. We go for some Jurassic combos. So, we got a full Tommy-based team, V2, V1, and we're just going for the big brain plays. I knew he was going to go for that breaker. If he has no strike or anything else, he's just going to do breaker heavy stuff because I'm Dino Black. And since my moves are limited to breakers and one possible strike, I try to avoid those little things. So he does Zawardo. Part 6, JoJo's guys finally got announced. Just a little heads up. All right, now, so we go for some Hurricane. And some Hurricane. Because we don't need Hurricane right now. We actually need to stop the breakers. So, obviously, my thinking method was, let me just block that breakers if we know he's playing breakers. So I kind of get Energy Orb kind of prepped, but he dashed back, so I was like, alright. So he got that nice hit in, so then he tries to do a shield, dash forward, okay. So he's a little low on energy, so then I go for a Tommy, he didn't have enough time. Lo and behold, when Tommy hit the crit, I won the match. If he didn't crit, I was going to lose the match entirely. To win with Tommy is to crit with Tommy. He is the Dino Black Ranger, Super Dynamo. Where's Trent's Super Dynamo? When are we going to make Trent actually good, where he's actually decent on the ladder to fight Scorpina and all of those wicked demons? But lo and behold, I mean, Dino Black can still play up till today's meta. I mean, he's got some good high damage output if you actually did care about him. The crit chances is always nice. If you put in all that damage, see, every time you crit, you do more damage to your opponents. So we're going for V2, we'll pop him up, then we go for a nice Jurassic Strike. Jurassic Strike, and bada bing, bada boom, that was 7,000 damage, which means that can add up to 10,000 damage in a single primary strike pool with 10 energy. So we go for the oof, but he did the kicks. I go for the Tommy, he was too late. This is where I think I go Super Dynamo, and then I do V2, a little psych out, and then we go Hurricane. We prep the Hurricane, and just really going on Chun-Li's business here. Yes, Hurricane. Then we're just going to keep Chun-Li in a corner, and then we block, and then we go V2. V2 does the pop-up, building up enough energy to do a 3-cost attack, and they give you some time to back up, and that's an easy block. You got 3 energy, GG. Since all of your things are 3 energy, you should be able to game your opponent from there. So another one of my favorite things to always do with Dino Black, and this was way back in my Legacy days. I know I'm getting old. I'm a boomer. I'm a boomer when it comes to this game. I'm the boomer of this game's generation at this point. Back in the day, what I like to always used to do with Dino Black was with Zanaku Assist, and it actually holds up today. Because it's a breaker, you can always pull off your shields into those combos. So you just go, look at that crit, especially if Zanaku crits and you're having a high crit rate Tommy here. You got yourself a really nasty character here. Bam, again, does the pop-up, bought some time. Yeah, that projectile's already nutty. So he gets a couple attacks in with the breaker, then he goes breaker heavy again. Apparently, he didn't want to rebuild some energy before then. Building up the energy before that would have actually benefited him, so he's going heavy breakers again. So he's just tapping buttons at this point with Scorpina. So we tap him, and obviously Scorpina's too fast on her breakers to make us do anything remotely good. So we poke him, then we go Super Dino mode, hit him with the Hurricane that does a lot of damage, and bada bing, bada boom, hit him with Tommy. It's always good to pull that Hurricane off, especially on a heavy breaker character, as long as they're popped up. Just waste it so you can get out of that position. Because Scorpina is so heavy on breakers, you're going to need to waste your shield anyways. At least waste it during a combo. Alright, let's get to our last match here. We're fighting Miss Tori, so we're going to be doing some damage on Ninja Storm Dino Thunder team-up battle from the Disney era. So, nothing but breakers here. So, I was wondering what she... Oh, damn, her kick actually beat me out. That's not good. So, she didn't want to waste any of her shields because she needed to rebuild her energy before she did. So, that was the one positive thing Enway did. Make energy regeneration a bitch to get... Well, I knew that breaker was coming. So, I get hit by a breaker kick. Okay. We just let it slide. So, we're getting to that point. I waste a shield because I need my primaries again. My primaries set up a lot of my pokes, so I can actually hit the opponent a little bit easier. So we send in Tommy, it missed, thank goodness, and then I do a little poke there, he didn't fall for it. So I go for Zanaku instead, bam bam, the Zanaku assist never ceases to fail, because with every pushback it does set you up for a little bit more combo heavy stuff. So I set up Zanaku, and then I forgot to get a little bit closer with the Hurricane, because I had a chance. But never forget Zanaku assist is always flying, so if your opponent wants to do a heavy breaker combo, it will not be going through most likely. Thanks for letting me build up my energy. This is why turtling is not for you. So he has nothing but his strikes, so I'm going to waste my shield since I have another shield. So we go for Jurassic Strike. Again, this is why I try to use my breakers more when it comes to turtle people, so they get a little bit confused and what the hell's going on. So anyways, guys, that's our Anti-Meta Remaster on Dino Thunder Tommy. Still really good, can still play on the ladder. Be good, guys. Stay safe. Until next time, I'll see you around. Peace.